So good morning and welcome to Breaking Dawn this morning. It is Thursday, that's right, July 23rd, and we are just a couple days away from hopping on a plane and getting over to Barbados and then to Antigua. So from next week, we will be coming to you from Barbados, and then the following, when is it? Oh gosh, on the end of the month, I think the 31st, I think we leave Barbados on the 30th, and we head to Antigua. So we have Friday morning in Antigua, and then we have Monday and Tuesday morning, which is the carnival, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, I think. And we come back, I think, after that on the Thursday. So Breaking Dawn will be between Barbados and Antigua as of next week. All right? So look out, because, you know, when we hit these islands, well, we have crop over to cover, and then we have Antigua Carnival as well. But we're not going to be staying for crop over. We go over to Antigua because both of them happen at the same time. And I can't split myself in two, only half. So Antigua, you know, they put in for the latter end. All right. And we're going to be heading to Barbados at a very interesting time too, because their legend, one of their national heroes, Sir Gary Sobers, who passed away, I think it was last week. He will be buried. His funeral is on the 29th. And that is his state funeral. So there's going to be a state funeral for Gary Sobers on the 29th of this month. That is next week. I think it is Wednesday, Chris. So we might get we might be out and getting some footage of that. Right? Because, Gary Sobers is known as the greatest all-rounder of all time, tremendous batsman, bowler, fielder. His record of 365 not out stood for many, many years until Brian Lara came along and broke that record, got to 375, and then, of course, Matthew Hayden eventually broke that record, and Lara answered back almost immediately, just a few months later, with a 400 not out in Antigua. So it's going to be a very interesting trip to Barbados because, Gary Sobers, national hero, Barbados. The Prime Minister there, Mia Mottley, I think she put out a statement. They were in a week of mourning, or a month, the rest of the month they would be in mourning over the loss of Sir Gary. And I remember when Lara broke the record and he got the 375, I remember Sobers walking out onto the pitch to congratulate him. And that is one of Lara's heroes, of course. And why not? You know what I mean? That these are the guys that, the era, the Brian Lara era, these are the guys that they would have looked up to and admired, and, you know. So for him to break that record was a big thing, huge. I think everybody was glued to the television watching that test match between the West Indies and England in Antigua, on the Antigua Recreation Ground, when he got that 375 and Sobers came out, and it was just a terrific moment for West Indies cricket. The 400 not out was, I think, an even better moment, because when you have an Australian breaking your record, and that was the thing with Larry, when Matthew didn't break that record, Larry was like, what? All right, go back and play England and Antigua, no problem. 400 not out, and that record stands up to today, and will probably stand for some years to come as well, I would imagine. All right, so we're going to be in Barbados at a very interesting time, and we'll see if we could catch that, the state funeral, once we have time to slip it in, because I know Barbados usually has a lot of activities planned for us. I have to check the itinerary and see what they have planned for that day. I'll check that during the break, but it's going to be an interesting trip. All right. This morning at 6:30, we will have the Minister of Local Government, Khadija Amin. She's going to join us via the phone line. I want to get some information on the NPOPs program and why, the workers are not being paid as they ought to be paid. What is stymieing that process? And we're also going to chat with her as it relates to the flood preparation for this rainy season, because we are in the month of July, the rainy season has begun. I think the Met Office, one of those organizations, just before we entered the rainy season, they said that we should expect a dry rainy season. I don't know how true that will be. We will see in the end as we go along. But we are here, and I've often said you ought to be preparing for the rainy season because you know exactly when the rainy season is coming, right? So you know when it's coming. It's in like you had to guess it. You know when it comes. You know the months. You know when it ends. So your prep should be in order leading up to that particular season where we get a lot of rain. So we'll chat with her about that as well. And then once we have time, if time permits, we may be able to accommodate a few phone calls before we take a break and get to Mr. Ramkumar Narayan Singh, who will join us, industrial relations and, of course, business development and so on and so forth. And we're going to talk about the public sector versus the private sector this morning. We'll have 15 minutes to do so because we have Dr. Watson on this morning as well. And she will join us after that. And Dr. Watson will be speaking on old age. All right? Where I'm headed. Sometimes I forget I'm nearly 50, you know. Yeah, but I don't want to afford to turn to a 5 at all, you know. Oh, gosh. All right. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I feel like when you hit 50, that's it. And then it's just down, you're going down a hill from there. Yeah, oh, gosh. Anyway. All right. Let me just repeat what the director just said there. All right. Let's get to the headlines in the paper this morning. Unfortunately, one of the fishermen from Trinidad and Tobago, remember there were some fishermen missing at sea, and this was happening all in the middle of the Guyana incident with their boat and the tragedy that took place there. And we had some Trini fishermen. One has died at the sea, one died at the sea, and one crewmate is critical, 4 others rescued after the MV St. Vincent sinks off the southern Caribbean. So we have 1 dead, 1 critical, and 4 others rescued. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they are supposed to be in Guyana. I think that's what I saw yesterday. Right? The boat they were on sank off the coast of French Guiana. Right? And they are currently, I think they're in Guyana, you know. That's what I saw yesterday, just now. Didn't want the crew members' condition, So some Marquette yesterday changed its intended final destination from Barbados to St. Vincent. All right. I'll have to go through this report. I know yesterday I saw something with Guyana, but this report, I'm now seeing this morning because it popped up. Well, I didn't see no mention of Guyana here. I've seen Barbados and St. Vincent and so on and so forth. But I know that there was a call for some assistance in finding these men. But yesterday there were pictures circulating that they were found. Right, in an update yesterday from the vessel to Barbados Maritime Authorities, it was revealed that Murray, that would be, Murray. One of the fishermen, of course. Why don't you have the man last name here, boy? Anthony Murray. Right. He is the deceased. Okay. It was revealed that he was in critical condition following the rescue. And Marvel Kite crew members reportedly struggled to feed him, but he was only able to consume small amounts of oral rehydration solution and later developed severe breathing difficulties and was placed on oxygen support. Despite those efforts, Murray's condition deteriorated rapidly and he died before the Marvel Kite reached its final destination last night. So condolences, of course, going out to his family. And we hope that the other fisherman that is in critical condition, we hope that he bounces out of that and recovers. All right? As we move on, that's why I tell you earlier, but I'm afraid it's here. I'm afraid it's bad. Death toll. Death toll in Guyana in the Guyana boating tragedy rises to 65. Yeah. 65 people, including children. You know? And the search, I believe, continues, but the death toll keeps rising. And at this point, you know, I mean, if you have not found any more survivors, chances are that you won't. All right? Of the 65 victims, 44 have been so far identified by family members. Right? So the number of rescue passengers and crew remain at 76. Okay? And you have 65 dead. That boy, yeah, I telling you, boy. And the same thing with driving, you know. From the time you sit down in a car, you have to remember when you sit down in a car, your life in the driver's hand, eh? You know, the same way when you board a boat, your life is in the hands of those in control of it, you know what I mean? And you board these things with the confidence that everything is in order and all safety protocols are adhered to, and, you know, but then you never know, things happen, and it's a nice thing. All right? It's not a good thing to go through. It's not a good thing to read about. It's just sad. Now, this one is interesting. Alexander says state of emergency tribunal breached his right to be heard. Now, here's my problem with this. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander has asked the state of emergency review tribunal to withdraw its preliminary recommendations in relation to the continued detention of businessman Dominic Hadid, his wife Genevieve, and their relative Star Sabga over its failure to solicit his views in relation to the legal proceedings before it. Lawyers representing Alexander, led by senior counsel Anand Ramlogan of Freedom Law Chambers, made the request on Monday after the tribunal reportedly found that the trio's continued detention was not necessary or expedient in the public interest on the previous day. Now, here was the issue here. And this is what I'm saying. The laws surrounding this, because make no mistake, the detention of the Hadids and, well, anybody that we have in detention right now on these PDOs, it is within the law, right? You have a state of emergency, you can use these preventive detention orders under that state of emergency, and these preventive detention orders can keep you detained without charge, okay? So there is nothing happening here that is outside the law, right? It's within the law. But the law has to be the problem. Whoever wrote this law or came up with it or whatever the case might be, some aspects of it obviously need to be amended, right? Or may need to be amended. Because here's the thing. The Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, he signs off on the PDO. Follow me on this, right? He signs off on the PDO after the PDO goes through several different channels and legal departments. And of course, there has to be, it's intelligence-led or evidence-led. And based on the intelligence or the evidence or the threat or whatever the case might be, the minister will sign off, right? Good. So he's a rubber stamp, basically. But here's the problem. You have a tribunal, a state of emergency tribunal, right? That can review, well, any challenge could go before this tribunal, right? In this case, they are challenging the PDO. Good? So, as the detainee, you go before the tribunal, you put your case before the tribunal, whatever. Now, Homeland Security Minister Alexander is saying he did not get the opportunity to give his information or go before the tribunal and submit his information. And that will sort itself out. But I'm talking about the whole law surrounding this, right? So, as a detainee, you go before the tribunal, you challenge this detention. The tribunal makes a decision and says, well, okay, based on, even if, let's just say he had the opportunity to go before them and he stated his case as to why they should remain detained, let's just say the tribunal, having heard both sides of the story, decided, look, they should be released. The tribunal then makes that decision, right, to release. But the minister who signs off on the PDO can reject that. So you have a tribunal set up to review these matters, make a decision, but the decision can be rejected by the minister who signs off on the PDO. That making any sense? Then what's the point in challenging? What's the point in having a tribunal set up to review these matters if, at the end of the day, the tribunal says, hey, we think these people should be released, and they put forward a recommendation, and that's their decision, bam. It's sent back, minister says rejected, bam. It just don't make sense. Because he doesn't have to accept their recommendation, right? So the whole law, really and truly, that surrounds this whole PDO, these preventive detention orders, I mean, it needs to be looked at and maybe adjusted. But that ain't gonna happen now. I could guarantee you that. That might be something that happens when the SOE ends, and it's something that they could put forward or bring to the parliament or whatever and debate and amend or whatever the case might be. But that ain't gonna happen now, right? But the Privy Council will also, I think they go before the Privy Council very soon, and the Privy Council will rule on the matter. But obviously something has to, I mean, it had to make sense. It makes no sense that you're operating with laws that don't make sense, right? So that obviously needs to be, that is something that they need to look at, all right? Because that don't make no sense to me at all, and I is a sensible fellow. All right, what else do we have here? Well, the Hadids will launch a new challenge as well. I think they launch a new challenge today. The appeal court will hear the Hadids appeal today again. So we'll see where that goes. So that continues to go wrong in a circle. And at the end of the day, we will see where it ends up. But like I said yesterday, and I'll repeat today, it's a ticklish thing, conspiracy. When you have or you're being accused of conspiracy to murder somebody, worse yet, the Prime Minister or the Attorney General or some government minister, right? So when the accusation is conspiracy to murder, right? Government officials as far up as the PM, I don't know what the state or the police would have in their possession, or the state, the police, I don't know what they would have in their possession in terms of evidence. And I was told by a lawyer, it's a very ticklish thing because you can't go before the Court of Appeal and thing with these matters with the PDOs and say, look, this is the evidence we have. It don't work like that, right? There is certain evidence of sensitive nature that you may not want to reveal at the time, and you will want to wait until the matter gets to the court and things like that to release it. So a lawyer and I were talking, and he was telling me something, well, he was speaking along those lines, but he said it's a very tricky thing, like I said, because you could really be conspiring to commit the act, but you haven't committed it yet. So now it's how you establish if the intent to follow through with the act was there. And that is where the whole issue is going to be. It's how do you prove that there was an intent? Now that's not now, even if you can't prove that there was an intent, and even if there was no intent, and these were just messages that or conversations that were intercepted, and they were talking that talk, and they're just talking loose talk, or whatever the case might be. Even if that is the case, it's still a very serious thing, because you're talking about murdering government officials. So it's going to still be a very serious thing, especially under a state of emergency. So it's a tough cookie to really crack. But we'll see how it crumbles at the end of the day. All right? Let's move on, because I want to get to the Minister of Local Government, Khadija Amin. I told her 6:30, so I know she up and about and she do play. All right, so she's a busy one. Before we go to the break, I want to remind you guys about elders classes. They're offering 3 exciting opportunities for growth and success this July-August vacation. They have the 3-week AI course that you can sign up for. You also have the option of the CSEC vacation classes. It's a 6-week program for Forms 3, 4, and 5. And they have the 7-week conversational Spanish course. So make sure and give them a call on 627-8632 or WhatsApp them on 715-5480 and get yourself registered today with elders. Also, Chef Shiraz. Let's not forget that Chef has 2 courses that will be starting very, very soon. Just 1 minute, so just message me here. Hold on. That's right. Right, let me see what she's saying here. All right, I'll get back to that. Right, Chef Shiraz. Right, so he has the 2 courses. Both of these courses start on the 8th of August. Right, so she's ready when we are. So both courses start on the 8th of August. Limited spaces available, of course. Asian cuisine, Chinese, North Indian, Manchurian, Hakka, Thai, and sushi. And all materials will be provided, certificate upon completion. And then you have the baking and cake decorating course that takes place on August the 8th as well. And that's another course. It's a 5-week course. So make sure and give Chef a call on 3724639 or 7375097 and get registered today. We're going to take a break. And when we come back from the break, we'll have the Minister of Local Government, Khadija Amin, with us via the phone line. Don't go anywhere.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Are love problems, marriage issues, financial struggles, or business setbacks affecting your life? Pandit Tiwari is a trusted spiritual specialist helping people finding guidance, solutions, and peace. Whether you are facing relationship problems, family disputes, marriage difficulties, financial obstacles, or business challenges, Pandit Tiwari provides personalized spiritual assistance to help you move forward with confidence. Don't let problems control your future. Your solution could be just one call away. Call Pandit Tiwari today. Pandit Tiwari, your path to happiness, success, and peace.
Welcome to Car City Trading, your #1 supply of brand new Korean auto parts. Come on down to lot number 78, Bamboo Settlement number 2, Valsain, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday to get your Hyundai and Kia vehicular needs. Car City Trading has everything your vehicle needs, from a brand new head and blocks to engine parts, transmissions, suspension parts, body parts, electrical parts, braking system, AC system, even the smallest sensor, and much more. WhatsApp us today at 704-2246 or call us at 645 715-2603 and let us be your car parts solution. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and look out for our monthly deals and promotions. Car City Trading, quality products at unbeatable prices.
Big sale event at Salinas and Sebastian's. Graduation, prom, weddings, Father's Day, or just stepping into your next big moment. We've got you covered because Salinas and Sebastian's, it's more than a suit. It's the perfect fit when it matters most. From the boardroom to date night, look sharp, feel confident, and show up ready. And because value matters, now is the time to dress best for less. Enjoy 25 to 35% off special suits and create a look that's uniquely yours. Complete the look. 35% off dress shirts. Up to 50% off selected dress shoes with any formal purchase. Sneakers, buy one, get one free, or buy one and get one half price. Ladies, 25% off selected dress shoes for your special moments. Dress for the moments that matters most. Salinas and Sebastian's, located at Gulf City Mall, upper level. WhatsApp 715-9533.
Cars, sports, careers, food. We men always talk about these things, but not about our health. Did you know that testosterone is responsible for muscle mass, strength, deep voice, healthy hair growth, and the sex drive? With low testosterone, we may not achieve our potential. The good news is that Jameson Power for Men is an excellent testosterone support. Take Jameson Power for Men and perform to your max. Jameson, here for your health.
Every day at the castle, long before we open our doors, our work begins. Our famous seasonings are mixed in advance. We select our fresh chicken parts and prep our delicious sides. Then we fire up the fryers and rotisserie oven. Everything is made with tasty local herbs, spices, and the same long-loved recipe since 1968. So, when you come in, remember that we uphold our culture and our taste just for you. We are your Royal Castle.
Air conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerator parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street and Bonaventure Main Road, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
Are you tired of managing symptoms without understanding why your body is breaking down? Setwayo's Holistic Health Clinic provides consultation and re-education sessions followed by nutritional therapy programs designed to address the root causes of chronic disease. The clinic works with clients in Trinidad and Tobago and internationally, helping people rebuild the body through correct nutrition, not drugs, supplements, herbs, detoxes, injections, or quick fixes. Setwayo is also the author of You Are Not Sick, You Are Malnourished, a powerful health book that has been the top-selling book on consignment at RIK bookstores nationwide every month since entering the stores. If you're struggling with cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, autoimmune issues, fertility challenges, digestive problems, or other chronic condition, book a consultation and re-education session today. Purchase the book at RIK bookstores nationwide, Nelson's Bookstore in Tobago, Amazon, or Gumroad. Visit setwayoclinic.com or call or WhatsApp 279-3935 or 761-1952. Setwayo's Holistic Health Clinic, rebuilding the body, reversing disease through nutritional therapy.
Astrologer Mohit Ji is known for providing insightful astrology guidance for complex life situations, dealing with love confusion, delayed marriage, partner distancing, or serious relationship breakdowns. His approach focuses on understanding the root cause and guiding you toward the right path. If financial instability or business setbacks are affecting you, his spiritual remedies may support positive change. With psychic reading, horoscope analysis, and palm insights, he offers practical clarity. His services also include protection from negative energies and removal of bad luck. Call at +1 868 334 2796.
All right, people, so we're back on Breaking Dawn this morning. We're just about 27 minutes away from the hour of 7 o'clock, and we're going to call Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Khadija Amin. There are some questions that we need to get answered as it relates to the NPOPs program and the, of course, preparation for the rainy season here. Good morning, Minister. Gentlemen, where's my audio? Hold on, eh?
Sure, yes.
I'm not hearing anything. Yeah. Let me just patch me through here. All right, morning, Minister.
Good morning, good morning.
Mamdi. All right, so let me just sort out this problem here, or this little issue here that we have. Minister, just hold on 1 second there. They're just patching through everything here. We good to go? All right, good. Yeah, morning, Minister Amin.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, morning. How are you going?
I'm good. Delighted to join you guys this morning.
All right, nice. Well, first off, welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago. I know that you were in Japan recently.
Yes.
Yeah. But just before I get into the conversation, you were invited there, I understand, by the Japanese authorities?
Yes. So they have a program where they invite public officials, people from the media, cultural icons to their country to learn from their country and also to share experiences.
Okay,
so
brilliant.
I was invited by them. They, of course, they pay for you to come there. They pay your way. And yes, so it was a real enriching experience in terms of learning. I was able to visit some disaster management units, disaster preparation, see their drills, their simulations, as well as some recycling that would inform us in terms of managing sargassum in Trinidad.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, because that sargassum problem is a huge problem when it becomes a problem. So.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're aware, but the Japanese ambassador and the UNDP recently donated some equipment for us to remove the sargassum from the beach, tractors and stuff, and they are also bringing a boat for us. But when we take the sargassum off the beach, we just dump it, and it takes about 4 years to break down, to be used for fertilizers. So they have technology that breaks down the sargassum and other biomaterials, bio-waste, to use as fertilizers in 10 days. So that's really innovative, and that could also inform us our way forward. And that way the sargassum goes back into the economy as fertilizer to help agriculture.
Absolutely brilliant. Leave it to the Japanese and they to figure these things out. They're brilliant, you know, as you would have seen on your trip. Now, we have a little issue here that has been around for a little while now. And I say, you know, I have to get on to Minister Amin because I've been saying, use our George's girl, and I know you don't play nice when you're ready to, when you're ready to stop playing nice, you don't stop playing nice. So we have the NPOPs program, right? And I'm hearing a lot of talk on the ground that, you know, payments have been delayed and things of that nature. And I wanted to get some insight as to what is going on with those payments, because the last time I know that payments was an issue was with the Port of Spain Corporation, and you had to come out and you had to give the information that relates to the corporation, the Port of Spain Corporation and those payments. So what is going on with the NPOPs program?
Yes, so let me tell you, the NPOP program, the workers on that program, National Program for the Upkeep of Public Spaces, have been doing excellent work. They have been very productive. They are in every corporation. They are dealing with roadways, some of those drains that help us to reduce flooding. They are assisting with cleaning preschools, panyards, public spaces in general, not just cutting the side of the road. The program is running smooth, except with this situation with their payments. So I have identified where the snag is. It's an administrative snag. It's no fault of the workers. And I'm really feeling it for the workers, because there are people who have been 2 and 3 fortnights and they have not gotten paid. And there are public servants who have to be in the system for accountability purposes. And I feel that they are making the situation a little too complicated to pay these workers. To me, it's a straightforward situation. So for the first fortnight, most of them got paid normal, and then after, even people who have bank accounts and so on, they were paying them with checks. And I find it complicating the process a little too much. So I asked our PS to intervene. Even while I was out, I was in Japan, I was in touch with them. And we have made a list of all the workers who have not gotten paid.
Okay. So these payments will be made soon and brought up to date so that people can get their money on time.
Yes. So pretty soon now, every worker will get their pay, and I have to apologize to them because it is no fault of theirs, and they are working well. The program is working well. So we will be rectifying that issue very soon, and I really want to thank them for their patience.
I read somewhere where the program it employs roughly 1,600 people.
Yes, 1,684 persons.
And that's across all 14 corporations.
All 14 of the corporations. It's roughly one team per electoral district, but we have a special team assigned for disaster management, and we are training them to use power saws and other equipment that will come in necessary if there is a fallen tree, if you have flooding, and so on.
Okay. Now, flood preparation, we'll get to that shortly, right? But I just want to ask something. Now, I don't want to go back into, because I think you've made it very clear as to the findings in programs like CPEP and URP, right? So
yes.
when I look at the number 1,684 people employed, that would have been in comparison to how many people would have been employed under CPEP doing almost the same thing?
Well, you had both CPEP and URP. The URP still falls under the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. Right. And the purpose of URP now is simply to wrap up, to facilitate audits. You have a lot of audits going on. We have some police reports. We had some reports made to the fraud squad where we found people who had up to 20 cards. So these are bank cards where salaries are being deposited into these accounts. So the problem is that you cannot really determine how many of these workers were real workers and how many were ghosts. For instance, I'll tell you, in the compound where the URP head office was, there were 20 persons, 2 teams, 20 persons working just to clean the compound and so on. In the lead up to the general election, there were 200 persons rostered to work on that compound. 200 people can't even stand up in the yard in that office. So that gives you an appreciation of the extent of some of what was going on. So the thing with our program is that it provides real employment to real people. We will not tolerate any ghosts, any people who put in to get pay and they're not coming to work and these type of things. We also are paying them much more. Worker gets $209 for ordinary laborer. Right. The worker men get a little more. They get for worker allowance, but our supervisors and so on get paid. So the lowest paid worker gets $209 a day. that is significant because we are able to cut out the middleman, cut out the contractor who earns most of the money and then gives the workers the crumbs. We are also cutting out the criminal element. And
Right.
that, of course, means that there are a lot of people who are just sitting down home and getting free money, but that is no longer happening. So the productivity is remarkable, and the intent is to expand the program. And I'm happy that we started with this smaller number because this situation with the salary allows us to see where we need to work out those snags. And
Okay.
of course, as we fix those issues going forward, we'll be able to expand the program and employ more people because we do have an issue of productivity at the corporations where workers come to work 6 o'clock and leave 6:30, you know, and for years people have complained about it.
Yeah, yeah. I have heard those complaints. But the NPOP program, those employed in the NPOP program, they work in a full 8-hour day?
They work, well, it's not a full 8 hours. They work by task. So if your task is to clean this recreation ground, you complete your task before you go home. And even the workers on the establishment in the corporation, they have a task schedule, you know, but they don't enforce it. And it's something I've been discussing with the unions. So sometimes the workers might finish 9 o'clock, they might finish 11 o'clock, sometimes they go till 2 o'clock.
Okay.
But they complete the task at hand.
All right, and just for public knowledge, the budget that the CPEP program was operating under, with using these middlemen contractors and contract going to Tom, Dick and Harry and all kind of criminal organizations and so on and so forth.
And friends and relatives and members of the PNM government, yeah.
Right. So the budget for that versus the budget for this NPOPs program that you all have been able to restructure what was.
Oh,
and,
it is
yeah.
far less. It is far less because you see what this will allow us to do, if we are to hire the same number of workers eventually, it will cost less because more money, and the workers will be getting more money individually.
Okay.
So, you know, I always say that the PNM were giving people crumbs while they were running away with the whole bakery. So there are people who are upset that, okay, I'm not getting these crumbs anymore. But when you compare the losses for corruption and nepotism, we will come out much better once the program unfolds as it should.
Okay, and it's a program that once the money is available, it can be expanded.
Oh, definitely, because we started with at least one team per electoral district, but we do intend to increase the numbers. And
Right.
there is need because there is a lot of work to be done. We are doing a lot of flood mitigation work as well.
Right.
And that the communities all over, they are appreciating that. Workers are out there from very early in the morning, and people observe and they see the positive work that they are doing.
Okay, brilliant. Now, on the flood mitigation, there was a report yesterday that you know, one media house, they went and they interviewed people in central Trinidad, and they have their concerns, of course, about flooding in that area. I remember in 2018 how bad the flooding was across Trinidad and Tobago. I was covering that extensively, where one half of Trinidad and Tobago ended up being cut off from the next half, things like that. And they brought up all of these things in the report, and people seem to have their concerns. Some people spoke to the media and said, well, you know, they find they're not seeing the type of work that should be done going on at this point in time. Where is the workload at as it relates to preparation for this rainy season, in terms of the rivers and the water courses and so on and so forth?
Well, let me tell you, Stefan, it is difficult to reverse 10 years of neglect in a year and a half. But we have been doing tremendous work with the water courses. Minister Jerlene John is leading the charge with those major water courses, such as the Caroni River, the South Oroput River, and those tributaries that are in those flood-prone areas. So a lot of dredging work has been done, building up the banks and repairing the floodgates. Many of the tributaries are under the Drainage Division of Ministry of Works, and they are also doing work there. But we are also tackling those local drains that lead to the pumps and the sluice gates. We also have, in terms of disaster preparation, I will tell you that I was in the 2010 experience. I was pulling people out of their house on boat with water up to your neck. In Greenvale, in Oropoon Gardens, you had water up to your waist in Bamboo. And I have learned from that experience. And I realized that under the PNM, there was a serious disconnect with the resources for disaster response and the people who are actually affected, because those elected did not care. They were never out in the flood. Right. And, you know, because of that, in 2018, I remember no help from the government. The Church of the Latter-day Saints, of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints came in, and I continued to build a relationship with them. Yesterday, they delivered $1.5 million in items, including 8 aluminum flat-bottom dinghies that will not burst when you're out there in the flood and you encounter sharp objects. They delivered several pumps, generators, power washers, buckets, power saws, tree trimmers. All of these things they delivered to us so that we will better be able to respond in case of a disaster. And in preparation for that, what I essentially did was emptied the warehouse. When we went into government, there was one warehouse in El Socorro for all our disaster equipment. What I have done is to create stockpiles and warehouses in every region. So every region has these items. They have cots and blankets. They have things to help them to respond quicker, so that they don't have to wait for us to send things from the head office. They have their stockpiles. So we have restocked with these new items, and we are doing a lot of training. We have trained over 500 volunteers since we came into government. And these people will help us to reach in those flood-prone areas if there is a disaster faster. You know, so I think because, I mean, when Kamala Persad-Bissessar is a leader and we're out there, whether in government or in opposition, we have been out there with her in dinghies, in boots, in trucks, delivering supplies to people. And that has caused us to continue with the boots on the ground approach to flood response and preparation, as well as the flood reduction efforts. So Ministry of Works, Ministry of Local Government, all our corporations, and the Ministry of Agriculture are clearing those water courses, even in the agriculture areas.
Okay, brilliant. Just finally here, this question just popped into my head because I live in the Woodbrook area, so I in Port of Spain. And garbage collection, right? I just want to be clear on something. The corporations and the distribution of funds to these corporations, everybody got their fair share, correct?
Yes, everybody got their fair share, but you know, there's always people who want more. And I will tell you, those PNM people who continue to say that the corporations are getting less money, the PNM corporations combined got $181 million more than the UNC corporations combined. And they are 7-7. So the PNM corporations actually got more money than the UNC corporations.
Okay, so they're properly funded and there should be no reason for garbage collection to be, you know, to be poor, because sometimes I pass by, I remember a couple of weeks ago I was up by Nelson Mandela making a lap. I was going run there sometimes. And I see all the bins and them full right up with garbage and all kind of thing. And I'm saying, but why is the park looking like this? Why is it not being cleared, you know, on a daily basis? Because you have so many different groups coming there sometimes you have children, a lot of children, football clubs coming to do the little training. You have exercise classes, and sometimes it's looking like a dump, and I'm saying, but why is that happening? Because I can't remember it ever being that bad in the past. And of course, people will look and they will say, well, you know, look at the amount of garbage and thing, and this one and doing the work, and that one and doing the work. And then you have certain corporations saying, well, we have no money and we can get proper funding and this, that, and the other. I think it happened in Diego Martin as well.
Stefan, let me tell you something. Garbage collection cost this country millions of dollars. It is about how they manage the service in each region. Let me tell you, when we came in, I met corporations who, under the PNM, were given Superior Corporation 5 months shortfall in allocation based on what the cost of garbage collection was. And we had to manage through that. When I came in, Tunapuna Piako Corporation was owing $30 million to garbage contractors. What we have been doing with every corporation is working with them in fiscal management. You have to prioritize. You have bills, you're owing contractors, you're owing suppliers, and you want to throw fat. We have been streamlining how they spend the money so that the money goes to pay their debts and to take care of their bills. So they have been getting the money. Right. Now, some of them are upset because when they apply for, let's say, unspent balances or chairman's fund, and they want to do something FET related, and I say to them, you have X, Y, and Z bills outstanding. Please clear those before you throw a mayor's ball or you throw a family day that costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're upset about that. But you have to be any responsible person and any responsible organization will ensure that their debts are paid before they spend money on FETs. So we have been working with them. All of them are getting their money, but let me tell you what the PNM corporations is do. When of course, periodically we have releases for, let's say, workers' salaries and so on. If for some reason there's some administrative issue, very often they may have missed some document. The application wasn't complete and Ministry of Finance is waiting on them. Instead of the chairman or CEO contacting myself or the PS, they run to the media. They put up notices on the board saying that pay is going to be late. We are liaising with the minister. This time they never even contact the minister, Samuel Laventil did that. Port of Spain did that. And you know what happens? If they contact us, we could very easily find out what the issue is, let them submit the required documents, and finance release the money. Okay. Port of Spain Corporation did not do that. They went to the media, and you know what it hurt? It hurt the workers. Because they were asked to submit documents in March. They did not. The PS called them in and talked to them in April. They promised to submit the documents. They did not. So by the time the media review came, we could not pay out the money without their audited documents, and we told them that. They went to the media. Eventually, my PS and them work over the weekend. Sunday, they submit the information. It had some errors. Monday, we corrected it, and they were able to get their money. But by going out to the media, it hurt the workers because their financial institutions were now concerned. I had a worker call me in tears from Port of Spain Corporation because her credit union was holding back on a loan because they saw this thing in the news. And I had to speak to the general manager of the credit union to explain the situation so he understands, listen, this woman not losing her work, her pay is going to come, but the mayor, by trying to score cheap political points, you're hurting the workers. So we have to be responsible, whether you're PNM or UNC, you have to be responsible. We don't play politics with garbage. You have work to do. We did not have their corporation for Carnival to pick up the garbage for Carnival. And we, by 4 a.m., every street was clean. Every street, all the garbage was picked up on the same NPOPs program. All the streets were washed and sanitized.
Yeah, I remember that.
They continuously, even before Carnival, they up and down, they were not cooperative at all. But we took the bull by the horns, and they could not say a word after Carnival because we got the job done.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for the information this morning. I'm sure that those who working in the NPOPs program will appreciate that the whole system is being made, it's been simplified so that, their salaries can be received. Because I know that when people work, they want to get paid. And I know you don't like that at all.
Yeah.
I know you don't play that.
People borrowing money for passage to go to work. One of the workers came by me where we could give them hampers and so on. we're doing that. But the truth is that I do understand their frustration, and I want to thank them for their patience and give them that assurance that we are working it out and they will get all their money, and hopefully this will not be happening in the future.
All right, well, thanks a lot for your time, and we'll chat again soon.
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you to all your listeners, and have a good day.
No problem. You too. All right, that's Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Khadija Amin, on the inside. And I know that, you see, it have certain people, I know them. When I say I know them, I know their personality, I know their character. I know them. You understand? Like I said, we Georgians. We went to George's College and that kind of thing. And I could vouch, if it's one, I could vouch for her. She don't play. You understand what I'm saying? When it comes to people being owed money and they work, and she don't play with them things. I find it very odd where you had 3 and 4 fortnights and all kind of thing that people wasn't getting paid. You understand? Because I know she don't play that. Director at IMP? You would know that too. Because I think you have had interactions with her, right, in the community. Exactly. So he and all know that. I know she don't play. She don't play at all. You understand? And I mean, look at that, even stepping in and calling credit union to telling credit union, hey, you understand? So I mean, that is the kind of person she is. She will do that. You know what I mean? And hopefully that is sorted out, because the NPOPS program is a really, really good program, and it shouldn't be tarnished by people not getting their money on time. It's an excellent program, because if you were a CPEP worker, you're getting $79, right? You're getting $209 a day now. And the reason why they could pay that $209 is because you're not going through a contractor. So nobody in making 50, 100,000 or wherever the case might be, and then hiring 10 people and paying them $79 a day. So they remove that contractor and they say, no happen, we go run this and pay the workers directly. So now the money could be spread evenly. And I'm glad that she said there would be an expansion of the program, because I think you could have more than one team, because our constituency is huge, man. Just yesterday I was talking to X about that, because X went up for St. Anne's East. And I tell him, I say, brother man, I don't want to walk in your shoes, you know, because when you follow a music truck for Carnival Director, that's the most walking I just do. For a day then, is following a music truck for Carnival. And you're talking about maybe you're playing mass, so you'll meet by the mass camp, wherever the band gathering, and you go down into town, and you go up in the savannah, and you come back wrong, and wherever. To walk a constituency is a different ball game, you know. And they just had to walk a constituency like 14, 15 days. So when you have an entire constituency to deal with, you're going to need more teams of people out there, whether it is cutting the grass or ensuring the upkeep of the parks and so on and so forth. So I think you need more teams. For now, it's 1,684 people spread across 14 corporations, but she did signal the intention to expand the program, and I was telling somebody that I think they were going to expand that program after this budget, because they would have budgeted for a certain amount of people in the program then, for this first year. So I think when this budget comes around now in a couple months, they would probably budget more money and expand the program so more people can get work. The only thing I forget to ask her, right, but I'll ask her another time. But what I forgot to ask her is if that program is meant to be a permanent program, or because she did mention that they're training people to use certain types of tools and things like that, right? And this is what I'm saying. Programs like that should be temporary. You come into the program, you're getting $209 now, so now you're on a higher salary. You could probably you'll be able to budget your money better. You don't try to live above your means, all right? Do like if you're still working for $79. Never put it that way, right? And put aside a little savings and whatever, and do a course or do something. Or if they're training you to use certain tools, learn the skill, and then take that skill now and elevate yourself to something else now. And that's what the program's supposed to be. When Manning came up, I think it's Manning came up with CPEP, That's what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a stepping stone program. And that's what these things should be. You know what I mean? Nobody should want to permanently put themselves or be comfortable in those programs. Use it as a stepping stone onto something else. But it is more sustainable employment with the salary that they're getting and the rate that they're getting now. And I hope that everything that the minister just said there materializes in the coming months, because I think once they expand the program and more people get work through the program, the place will be better for it, right? Because the more people they have on the ground doing the cleanups and things like that is the better the place will look. All right, let me put it that way. But they would have cut out a lot of money based on this model as opposed to the last model, right? So let me hope that, I'm waiting to see, I'll be in Barbados, but I will be messaging X to find out when those payments come through. Because he has been in contact with a lot of the people in the NPOPs program. All right, so we got to take a break. As we go to the break, Mr. Narayan Singh will join us after, and we're going to deal with the public and the private sector. But let me get Seth Weil aboard here real quick. So Seth has the Holistic Health Clinic, of course, and it's powered by nutritional therapy. So stop managing those diseases, start reversing them. And you can book an appointment right now by calling Seth on 279-3935 or 761-1952. Book your appointment today. Go see Seth. Get your consultation on. You could order his book, You Are Not Sick, You Are Malnourished. And you can also get the book at RIK bookstores nationwide, Nelson's in Tobago, Amazon, and the digital copies available on Gumroad. So we take the break. When we return, we'll get to Mr. Narayan Singh. Don't go anywhere.
William Monroe's birthday celebration presents a church fundraiser talent show, The Talent Within. Join us on Saturday the 29th of August at 6:30 p.m. at the San Juan Revival Ministries. Do you have a talent waiting to be discovered? Then this is your time to shine. Amazing cash prizes. First place, 5,000. Second place, 3,000. Third place, 2,000. Fourth place, 1,500. And fifth place, $1,000. There also be lots of exciting door prizes to be won. Tickets are only $100. Featuring special guest performances by Blessed Messenger and Minister Sean Daniel. Don't miss this spectacular evening of talent, entertainment, and fellowship. For more information, call 490-6760 or 332-6880. The Talent Within, where gifts are revealed and stars are born.
Welcome to Sembrano's Learning Academy. We are more than just a preschool. We are a family-oriented early childhood center where children are loved, nurtured, and inspired to grow. We'd like to think of ourselves as a safe space. From the moment a family joins our community, our hope is that they feel welcomed, safe, secured, and truly at home. By cultivating positive partnership, education becomes a journey best traveled together. We understand that every child is unique with their own strengths, interests, personality, and learning styles. That is why we believe every child has potential, and our role is to nurture their curiosity, confidence, independence, and love of learning so that they can thrive both in school and life. Using meaningful experiences, hands-on explorations, and proven educational practices, we create and develop a genuine love for learning. Our goal is to help children become confident, capable, independent learners who are prepared for an ever-changing world. We focus on developing the whole child by supporting not only academic growth, but also social-emotional development, problem-solving skills, resilience, and character. Most importantly, we believe that when children feel valued, connected, and understood, they thrive. Enrollment is ongoing at this time. You can contact us at 689-1345 We invite you to experience the warm partnership and sense of belonging at Zambrano's Learning Academy.
Astrologer Mohit Ji is known for providing insightful astrology guidance for complex life situations, dealing with love confusion, delayed marriage, partner distancing, or serious relationship breakdowns. His approach focuses on understanding the root cause and guiding you toward the right path. If financial instability or business setbacks are affecting you, his spiritual remedies may support positive change. With psychic reading, horoscope analysis, and palm insights, he offers practical clarity. His services also include protection from negative energies and removal of bad luck. Call at +1 868 334 2796.
Welcome to Caribbean Tourist Villa, your home away from home in the heart of Port of Spain. With over 25 years of trusted hospitality, Caribbean Tourist Villa has been a reliable choice for both business professionals and vacationers. Our guest rooms are thoughtfully equipped with all the essentials for a relaxing and productive stay, and our tranquil pool area is perfect for relaxation after a busy day. We've created the ideal space for you to relax, recharge, and enjoy. Give us a call to book your stay today.
If you want to be a better chef at home or advance your professional career,
Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy is the best place to be.
some of the courses that we offer here at the Academy: Creative National Cuisine 1 and 2, Baking and Pastry 1 and 2, Kids Summer Cooking Classes, one-day classes at the workshop. We have Asian cooking classes and certificate in culinary arts, food lovers and professionals.
Start your culinary journey today with us at the Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
Master Ganesh Bhargav offers powerful guidance for all kinds of life problems, doubts, confusion, protection needs, and clarity. His astrology practice comes from a powerful ancestral tribal lineage with over 500 years of astrological and spiritual practice. Bhargav Ji does not dominate or pressure clients. Instead, he focuses on fixing problems with care and balance. His reunion love spells and death reversal spells are designed to restore harmony and provide lifetime protection. This is not individual effort alone, but collective spiritual power working for you. Many clients notice strong positive changes within a few sessions. Call +1 868 347 2350.
All right, so we're back, and we are here in the second hour, 11 minutes past your 7 o'clock. And of course, we've got to thank the Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Khadija Amin, for joining us this morning. Information on the NPOPs program, as well as, you know, the corporations and so on and so forth, and the work that they're doing for the flooding, flood mitigation work that they're doing for the rainy season. So right now, we switch our attention to industrial relations and, of course, business development as well, with Mr. Ramkumar Narayan Singh, who is back this week. Morning again, man. So he's back this week, and we have a very interesting topic, which is public sector versus private sector. right? In terms of industrial relations, because there are different rules for both.
There appears to be.
There appears to be different. It appears. All right, so let me hear what appearing and what not appearing, and what might be disappearing. Let's go.
Yeah, so Stefan and Trinidad and Tobago, good morning, everybody. Let me just say quickly, good morning to the South people. I met a couple of them this week here. So good morning to Roger, good morning to Mrs. Mohammed,
right.
And good morning to Mr. John from Williamsville. Yeah, apparently some avid viewers.
You're better than me, boy, to remember all them names.
Yeah,
Let's say good morning to the fine folks in Rio Claro that I met at Long Circular Mall last week. Yeah, as you're talking about South people now. Morning, guys. Yeah.
Right. So, in terms of the, as you would recall, last week we were talking about the disciplinary process and how it applies to, how it's supposed to apply in accordance with the principles of natural justice. Now, Stefan, what I have noticed, I would say, is that it seems as though the private sector is held to, in my opinion, a higher standard than the public sector in industrial relations.
Right.
When it comes to due process and the terminologies and standards that are used. So I'll give you an example. Quite often, and we were talking about where people are sent on leave in the public sector from the different security apparatuses, whether it's the prison service or the police service. It's very interesting. So what we've seen is, what I have seen, and the public, you guys can also have your opinions on this. Your observations would be relevant and really correlated. You see quite often persons who are accused of a wrongdoing or some type of violation, especially in the protective services, they are sent on leave pending the outcome of whatever investigation. And they call it suspension.
Right.
They're suspended pending the outcome. And you were mentioning to me some of your understanding about sometimes it's half pay and that kind of thing. That is not a practice that the private sector is allowed at all. If you send somebody on suspension or you send them on leave with half pay, by virtue of legal precedents, judgments on the industrial courts, iterations that has come out from panels in handling matters associated with claims of dismissal, it is obvious that the industrial court's position is you cannot take any type of action that will connotate disciplinary action prior to the process being completed.
Right.
And any form of language that implies the use of disciplinary action prior to completion will be interpreted by the court or will be argued by the representative, the workers' representative, unions or lawyers, whoever, to be disciplinary action taken before due process was executed. And that includes, of course, adjusting somebody's salary if you send them on administrative leave or generally just leave pending the outcome of an investigation. Process, or a disciplinary process. But for some reason, somehow, the public sector is allowed to do this. For some reason. Now, for me, it's I'll tell you what.
Just for some reason,
I am confused by it. Listen, what blows my mind, and for us in the private sector, we find it to be nothing short of hypocrisy.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. If we are held to this standard, and employers, small businesses, I see this happen all the time. A one-man show. Call a worker in. What's happening with this? The worker sat down, they had a discussion, the worker write a report, whatever. You would find that after dismissal, especially if there's evidence, I've seen situations, glaring evidence. Man speeding right off the people's vehicle. GPS records, hey, the man do it. 2 workers who was in the truck with him permanently injured. permanently disabled. All the evidence says that, you know, the speed limit for a truck is, I think, 60 or something.
Yeah.
And doing 100 and change, you know. And because when they look at the process, they say, well, here what's going on. You didn't give the man the information for the hearing in writing. You didn't. So they nitpick at the process so much that this one-man show, this small business owner, is held to this high standard. And I have no problem with the high standard, right? I am saying, okay, if that's what you're saying. Now the business owner says to me, but hold on. Look what went on in this government agency, and, you know, you don't hear nothing about it. Nobody don't make a hullabaloo. This is government.
Right.
You understand? This is state agencies that are part of different services, different ministries that are associated with industrial relations, etc., etc. And you find that the argument, we meet it, consultants, lawyers, we meet the argument all the time. How is it that you're telling me I cannot use the word suspension, or I ought not to use the word suspension because the representatives will go to court and argue that you took disciplinary action, or why do I need to pay the person while they're home? And look, this officer on half pay, and this government, this WASA employee, you know, X, Y, and Z, and they use different agencies, they reference different agencies where these things happen. It creates chaos in the system because the private sector business owners are trying to figure out, well, where really is the standard, right? And when the industrial courts judges speak about it publicly from time to time, different seminars, and when they participate in forums, they say it very directly, very openly. Principles of natural justice has to apply.
Right.
But the people who are part and parcel of the process, they see it as nothing short of contradiction. Right? So that's a question, Stephan. I don't think you and I don't have an answer for it because I just don't understand. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the public sector. We'll do some research because I know there are different forms of, but they have their internal policies and procedures. And I think the Commissioner of Police has, you know, some say in that process, in his process or her process, whenever there is a commissioner. We've had a female commissioner of police, yes?
Yes.
We have. Yes, we did, right.
Yes.
So him or her, right? Same thing with the prison service and I guess all the agencies. But in my opinion, what it does for the private sector, it creates the perception that you could do what the public sector is doing and you'll get away. But from my experience, you cannot. You cannot adapt to any of those practices and then expect that you're going to have justification by referencing what you've seen happen in the private sector, public sector
in the public sector, because I wanted to ask you about this. We're talking public and private. I remember during the pandemic, if you recall, as it relates to the vaccine and people being mandated to take this vaccine to go to work or to keep the job, a lot of people felt, well, in the private sector, right, if they didn't take it, they couldn't go to work, right? But in the public sector, there was a different pushback.
Correct.
And the government couldn't mandate it.
Correct.
As opposed to the private. The private sector somewhat mandated it for certain workers in certain places where they're saying, well, look, you had to take this and this. And remember, it had safe zones and all these little things, right? But in the public sector, there was a huge pushback.
Well, let me say this, and the public records will speak on this for anybody who has a problem with what I'm going to say here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the first person from the industrial relations community to come out and make a public statement on a morning program about the policy that was required or was needed to guide the business community in managing that entire issue we needed the government to take a clear position in terms of how the policy, how the management of the process should apply.
Yeah, there wasn't a clear position on it, that's true.
That government failed the private sector miserably failed the private sector, because here's why. Business owners were left to figure it out. The government had a clear position. They were just taking a hands-off approach in terms of how people work. But the private sector had to contend with the shutdowns, had to contend with absolute unclear information in regards to how NIS dealt with sick leave, how sick leave would apply, what was the difference between quarantine leave and sick leave. These things are just chaos in the system, you know.
Serious?
Listen, we had the Prime Minister come out on national television and tell people, you need to pay people for quarantine leave. And when I looked at that, I made a public statement on it, because what he did was, he gave the impression, people could just go and get quarantine, or are feeling sick, or was in second contact or first contact with this person, and they got a quarantine notice for 21 days, and he said, apply the sick leave, but sick leave is 14 days. And people were coming to businesses and saying, the Prime Minister said, you have to pay me. Now, whether his message was misconstrued or whatever, the point I'm making is, private sector is always left in an environment of contention based on public sector standard. And in the public sector, all the different ministries practice all different things. And government is allowed to get away, well, not allowed to get away, actually, they do things that contradict what the law prescribes and what the legal precedents from the industrial court prescribes. And private sector is always left scratching their heads. But for me, the message is simple, Trinidad and Tobago. Government is government, state is state. The reality is that the private sector drives the business economy of Trinidad and Tobago, drives it, right? No matter how much the government gets involved or whatever, the bottom line is, when you look at the bureaucracy that goes with government participation versus private sector decisive process flow, it is without question. And this morning, I'll just touch on something here, because we will probably go into this next week or the week after. The whole concept of permanency. Now, you were talking about where they launched the initiative for helping people. Is it POPs, MPOPs or NPOPs?
NPOPs, yeah, NPOPs.
Right, which is more or less a system associated with what was in the past URP
CPEP,
and CPEP and whatever. I talk about permanency. You said it was not supposed to be a permanent thing, right?
Right.
But permanency, that word is a word that is abused in the employment community. The entire system seems to be driven by this concept. You have to get credit. You have to be permanent. You want to do business with the bank. They want to know that you're permanent. The whole systems of law prescribe, permanency. You know, it's the truth. The truth is, permanency is one of the greatest farce, F-A-R-C-E, one of the greatest false perceptions that people ever have, you know. Let me tell you how far this goes. I think we only have a few more minutes, if I'm not mistaken. I am giving you a commitment. I hire you and give you a commitment for employment. And I tell you that the expectation of the system is I must give you a commitment for the foreseeable future.
Right.
So you work for more than a year, the industrial court is going to interpret your engagement as being permanent. Contract, no contract, once there's a continuous and consistent engagement. But what is permanent? Because I don't have any commitment from any of my customers that they will permanently buy from me. So I have no guarantee of business, none whatsoever. But a man who have no guarantee of business is giving a man a commitment for employment for the foreseeable future. Just look at that contradiction, right? Just think about that for a minute. You work here. Can they guarantee you that you will have a job forever?
No.
And then imagine they do. But do they have any guarantee of business forever?
No, there is no guarantee.
And that is the contradiction that exists in this world today. And what's the problem is, no problem, we have that contradiction, that's fine. Okay, so if the system is promoting that, then in equal measure, the system should promote some type of structure that would allow, at the very least, give the business owner a fighting chance when it comes to policies and procedures. They're going to change the RSBA. They are now eliminating this situation where if a business is bankrupt, it doesn't have money to pay its bills. There is currently no liability to the employees, right? And yes, I understand the ArcelorMittal debacle. I was a part of it. This is not hypocrisy on my part because there was a difference. Mittal made a decision to close. A business that has a legitimate reason to close because they don't have any money. You're taking the two and you're putting them in the same boat. And you're saying now that your business failure and no money to run your business again, find the money to pay people for years of service. Something that never existed before. How does that become aligned with people who choose to close their business as a means of trying to bypass having to pay people severance? How does it? And they did not specify the difference in the legislation. And that's an example of the point I'm making here, this point trying to be good. Throwing out the baby with the bathwater.
Does that same rule apply to the closure of Crystal Waters here today? Where the workers were calling for severance and so on and so forth?
Right, and I don't know what the circumstances of Crystal's closure would have been. But I think it's public information that the owner of that business was unfortunately killed. I think you're aware of that. And most probably that business would have gone into a tailspin, right? But I don't know any details of it. But in circumstances like that, if there's all they needed to do simply was establish standards for the business owner proving that it is based on a legitimate circumstance of bankruptcy versus a choice to close. So I don't know if I can't comment on Crystal Waters. I just don't know. Right?
Okay, but well, let me see what we have here. All right, yeah, we have about 2 minutes. I'll get 2 minutes. So in terms of the public and the private sector, the public sector is the private sector, you said, is guided at times by the public sector.
They take guidance sometimes.
They take guidance.
And it confuses them. Because the practices, like I said, the practices that you see.
So is it better to work in the private sector or the public sector?
Who's the largest user of fixed-term contracts?
The largest
user of fixed-term contracts.
Fixed-term contracts.
I should say the largest abuser of fixed-term contracts.
Between the public and the private sector?
Yeah, the government.
The public sector.
Right, now here's what, right? Unions are up in arms against private sector using fixed-term contracts and we will do a entire episode on contracts because they say that the court has ruled on many occasions based on arguments from unions that the private sector does use fixed-term contracts and abuse it to mask a permanent need for engagement, right? But you don't hear anything about the government and the fact that most of the people, the commissioner, I think the commissioner of police is engaged on a contractual period.
Yeah.
So tell me something. Is it not correct that a commissioner of police is a continuous position that the country needs?
Yes.
So why is that? The judges in the industrial court, they on fixed-term contracts, most of them. Is it not correct that we consistently need judges?
Yes.
So how come the argument don't apply there? But if I hire you to work as a presenter here and I give you 2 fixed-term contracts and any issues arise, the court is going to say you're a permanent employee regardless of what contract we would have put in place because you have a pattern of engagement. But is it not correct that this business runs on needs that arise in the general commercial environment where they pay for ads, etc., and they could decide not to pay for ads? Is it not correct that some seasons the demand goes up and some seasons drops down?
Yeah. So like carnival time, you will get an increase.
When the need for a commissioner does ever drop?
Christmas time, well.
When the need for industrial court judges ever drop?
I understand what you're saying.
Same to the workers in the Ministry of Labor. A lot of different employees, fixed-term contracts.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting.
People, we want to thank Mr. Narayan Singh for coming in this morning. Of course, public versus private sector, and some of the differences there. Next week, I'm very sure we're going to have an interesting one to discuss as well. We will be in Barbados, so we'll have him on via Zoom.
Yeah.
Right? So you'll join us via Zoom. And we'll have that discussion next week Thursday as well, right? So once again, thanks a lot. And we got to take a break and get to Dr. Watson. She's coming up next. We are just about 28 minutes away from the hour of 8 o'clock this morning. Don't go anywhere. Old age. Yes. Old age. Dr. Watson will tell us about that. I'm getting a back pain just thinking about it. Don't go anywhere. Stay here.
Before you take your omega-3 supplement, check for the natural product number NPN on the label. This unique code shows that Jameson products have approved rigorous Health Canada testing for safety and effectiveness. Unlike some supplements that carry disclaimers like not approved by the FDA, Jameson Omega-3 is the trusted choice, offering 1800 milligrams of EPA and DHA for heart health. Choose quality. Choose Jameson.
Welcome to Antigua Mass. Them people have no behavior, they have no behavior. Welcome to Antigua Mass. Clear out how you know it's danger, how you know it's danger. When it comes to mass, it was that
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air. Like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. And the kids, they have more to enjoy. For me, the Castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Welcome to Car City Trading, your #1 supply of brand new Korean auto parts. Come on down to lot number 78, Bamboo Settlement number 2, Valsain, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday to get your Hyundai and Kia vehicular needs. Car City Trading has everything your vehicle needs, from a brand new head and blocks to engine parts, transmissions, suspension parts, body parts, electrical parts, braking system, AC system, even the smallest sensor, and much more. WhatsApp us today at 704-2246 or call us at 645-2603 and let us be your car parts solution. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and look out for our monthly deals and promotions. Car City Trading, quality products at unbeatable prices.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Leisha high quality, unbleached, bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Leisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets.
supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisure Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit them at Warrenville, Canupia. Chic Leisure Limited. Quality you can trust.
Eden Heights Clinic is one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean. They offer a dynamic combination of life-changing treatments, including prolozone therapy, live blood analysis, halotherapy, limb backing, nutritional programs, colon hydrotherapy, weight loss programs, oxygen baths, and more. Their professional doctors, Drs. Carlos Navarro, Bronwyn Navarro, and Brian Thompson provide consultation services in areas of diabetes detox programs, arthritis, sports injuries, heart disease, high blood pressure, persons suffering with knee, shoulder, and back pain. At Eden Heights Clinic, they understand that your health is your wealth. Get in touch with them to determine which service is the right choice for you. Visit them at any one of their 3 locations at 13 Montague Avenue, Twin City, at 41 Ramsaran Street, Shoguanas, or give them a call at 640-8985 or 613-7571, or send them a WhatsApp to 493-9196. Eden Heights Clinic is your right choice.
All right, people, so we're back. We're just about 22 minutes away from the hour of 8 o'clock. For the next 10 minutes, we're going to be joined by Dr. Watson, of course, and Dr. Watson is going to be talking about dying of old age. That's right. Some people get sick, some people, but old age, some people, you just live till you reach a certain age and, then that's it. But we'll get into Dr. Watson. Better she deal with that than me. Alright, I want to talk about nobody and how old you ought to be when you go down and kick the bucket. But Doc, what's up? Morning.
Good morning, Stefan. And today I decided to do this topic because as a palliative care doctor, a lot of times I'll go to people's homes to visit their elderly mother, father, granny. And the biggest thing they usually tell me is like, the person could be about 95, 96, and they'll say, but just 2 days ago, Granny was perfect, walking around well, and I'm panicked now. What's going on with her? Let's figure it out. Should I hospitalize her? So I need people to understand what old age means and why it is that people, when they get older, will die. I don't know if that's making sense, Stefan. You understand why I want to talk about it? That's the first.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read off my slides for those 2 slides, and then I'll move my eyes off of these slides because I know the rest, right? But these are things that I just wanted to get very clear so people can understand it. So when you die of old age, it's really, over your lifetime, your cells and organs will gradually wear out, okay? If your cells cannot replicate and there are problems going on with your DNA, your tissues, meaning your muscles, your fats, your organs, will not be able to sustain life. It will start to wear and tear and shut down, if that makes sense there. And because of this, over time, your tissue and your organ function and your immune system shuts down. Am I clear there? Because this is all the reasons behind it. So I'm going to use some big words here. So senescent cell accumulation. This causes a constant state of low-level inflammation and prevents the body from regenerating new cell tissues. And this is what happens as the person gets older and older, especially when they reach into their 80s and 90s.
Okay.
Then there's a second part. This is with your DNA. And this is shortened telomeres. You need these telomeres in order they protect the DNA from being damaged. The older you get, the shorter these telomeres get. And if they're shorter, this DNA will experience more damage and lead to general weakness or frailty. If you know, as a person gets older, you start seeing them shuffling when they're walking. They have to hold on to things, even though they never had any illness before in their life. They have to be more cautious when they're getting up from a chair. They can easily trip and fall. So all of this is composed of why a person will die as they get older. And I will stress for this again, the reason we're talking about this is even if your granny and granddad and mommy and daddy were perfectly healthy throughout their entire lives, we cannot change the fact that these changes are happening with the cells in your body, your DNA, and therefore things are not going to work like before, especially your organs and your immune system. So now I want to kind of go into the first thing you see when you see an elderly person. You will notice that they've lost a lot of weight, and people go, oh my gosh, Granny is losing weight, even though Granny may be eating the same way as before. But this weight is really muscle mass loss. And what I want to push out there is for both men and women, especially for women, this starts in your 40s. Huh? The loss of muscles starts at your 40s, and it gradually goes down and down and down, all into your 80s and 90s. But in your 80s and 90s, you see a drastic drop in the muscle mass, and that is called sarcopenia, and that causes your metabolic rate to slow down. If your metabolic rate slows down, you become extremely exhausted and tired. So ladies over 40, that could be a reason that you're exhausted and tired. I recommend for healthy people, even at any age, we're talking about even the 80 and 90-year-old, if they can do very, very, very light exercises and lift light weights, it may help them with their muscles. I saw this TikTok with this gym in Port of Spain that was only really dealing with a set of women over the age of 70, and they were lifting a lot of weights, and one of them was like 80 something, 83, 84, she looked well good. And she was saying that she's been seeing her family and her friends in wheelchairs who get stroke, who get heart attack, and she decided to join the gym because of the weight lifting. And if you lift weights, darlings, remember that you will maintain muscle mass and you will be less frail as you get older. It's not changing the fact that your cells not dividing properly and your DNA is getting damaged as you get older, so you can't produce, your organs can't repair as before, and you will have a decreased immune system. This does not change, meaning you could be the fittest 90-year-old running a marathon, and the next day you get a flu or cold, and you get a pneumonia, and you end up in hospital, and you could die. Following through with that, right? So
right.
So the immune system, good. So let's go into what are the most common things that will cause an elderly person to pass on. The first thing is organ failure, and the biggest one is heart failure. And Stefan, you ask your friends and things, say, what happened to Granny? What happened? How did she pass? And they say, boy, she died at old age. But on the death certificate, don't have that, right? Don't have, Miss Madam Mary died of old age. They can't put that, I hope not. A lot of times they put heart attacks, they may put things like heart failure, they will put kidney failure, different things they will put on the death certificate.
Right.
This does not mean that this person was ill at any point in their life prior to this. This is just because this is what happens as you get older. And if we could invent something that can actually continuously cause our DNA to be repaired properly and form properly and our cells to replicate and divide properly, then we may be able to find a cure and live forever and never amen. But if you notice, all people, regardless how much money, how much wealth, how much access to medicine, they will still pass on.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about the first one is heart failure. So when a person gets heart failure, the first things you might notice is that they start to get a lot of shortness of breath. They were well before, like running around and everything good, cooking in the kitchen. But now you find that they're tired all the time, they're sleeping all the time, they don't want to eat, they're short of breath. So these are little things that you'll note, Granny and Granddad going down. The second big thing that will cause it is something as simple as a fall, Stefan. You know how much times I both my mother about climbing tree? What you doing climbing tree at 75? Because if she has one little accident and falls and damages herself, that is going to change her from a very independent, fit woman into a very frail, ill person. Because remember, your bones are not going to heal as fast as before. When you have downtime when you're elderly, meaning that you're sitting most of the time or lying down in bed and you have to recuperate from a fall or a fracture, you end up with urinary tract infections, pneumonias, sepsis, And those are the things that you see as somebody gets into simple things. You'll say, oh, granny fell, and after that it was downhill from there. But these are the underlying causes that trigger the response of going downhill after something as simple as a fall. So that's one of the second, in fact, between heart failure and fractures and falls, those are the two big ones. The last one is just becoming frail. And we explained that just now because over time, nothing is properly, your hormones are changing. Well, in women 40s, men in their 50s and 60s with their testosterone, women with their estrogen, and you lose muscle mass. And as you lose this muscle mass, you become very frail, your metabolic rate slows down, you have a higher risk of getting diabetes and high blood pressure because when your metabolic rate slows down, sometimes you put a lot of fat on the tummy. Even if you're losing muscle mass, this can happen and it can lead to late-stage diabetes and hypertension. But the biggest ones is just being frail, your muscle mass loss, you're not able to move around as before, your auntie come in the house and sneeze twice and then you end up in hospital because you couldn't handle the common cold. All right, so this is just the third thing, with generally just becoming more frail. All right, and let me give people some of the most common things to note if you know your family member is shutting down. Meaning, this is not something that you fly to 500 doctors and you go, because people do this, they go, oh my God, my mom is 90, she's perfect yesterday, and today, look at her, she's not responding to me, she's not eating, she's not talking to me. I understand that the patient is 98, and we don't want to be ageist. Your immune system not working properly and your DNA not being produced properly, so it's being damaged. So what happens? Your organs can't replicate and rejuvenate as it used to. Your immune system is almost nil, and the person is 98. Most common things is you'll start to see if family members stop eating, they withdraw. These are normal things. They'll stop eating. This is not starvation. This is them telling you that my body is shutting down and I do not need food for sustenance.
Right.
Leave that to the 40 and the 50-year-old person. So they will tell you, I don't want to eat, I have no appetite. They will start to withdraw from the family. They want to sleep all the time and they want to be harassed and their breathing could change. So these are some of the things that you will note. If it is that your granny or granddad or whoever is able to move and go to a doctor, it's not a bad idea to just get a general checkup because sometimes it could be a chest infection or urinary tract, and we can fix this. But right after we fix it, it comes again and again and again, and then eventually it leads to death. So I hope this helps, Stefan.
Well,
just trying to...
Well, yeah, I'm seeing all the signs here to look out for. Hormonal changes as well was an interesting one. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, that's the only two things you're guaranteed. You're going to live and you're going to die. That is two, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, whether you end up rich or poor, hungry or full belly, that's up to you, right? The decisions you make in life. But the two things that surety, you're going to live and then you're going to die.
And you're going to die. And another thing I want to just say, Stefan, is that a lot of times when patients and family members rush their family across the hospital, no matter how great the hospital may be, because of the state of the patient, they end up in they get diseases from the hospital, like pneumonias and cough, flus and whatever else, and they could get urinary tracts there. But a big thing is bed sores, and I have to go to homes very often for bed sores. But if your body is shutting down, Stefan, and not working and not properly replicating cells, and how a lot of times you cannot repair wounds, so sometimes these bed sores, no matter how hard you try, are extremely difficult to heal because of that. All right, so I just wanted to just add that in because I know a lot of people call me in to look at bed sores and ask what to do on the 98-year-old person, you know, so I just wanted to throw that in there.
All right. Well, Doc, thanks a lot. And yeah, hopefully you have some years from this. All right. Because, I mean, then again, I forget to ask you, what qualifies as old age really?
Well, long time you will hear somebody 65 and go, oh God,
Yeah,
But
that
you know,
person
now that
old.
we,
Yeah.
now that we 50, that their old age no more. I will class, when I see somebody like 75 and up, I will start to say they're getting on with age, and definitely when they cross 80, I start to say old age.
Old age. Anything
Yeah.
past 80, I would say so.
Yeah.
I would say so, yeah.
To be fair to everybody out there, because coming into my office, you'll see even 65-year-olds are very frail. And that's probably because they just didn't take care of themselves, or they got something like COPD or heart failure from some underlying reason, or even if they have cancers. But if the person is generally well and happy, old age, I say 75 and above is getting on with age, and 80 is old age.
All right. No problem. Thanks a lot.
No problem, Stefan. See you next Thursday.
All right, yeah, will do.
Take
All right,
care.
so that's Dr. Watson on the inside there. Dying from old age, man. 80, I would say 80. 80 would have been my number. Anything past 80, I would say, yeah, you're in old age category. Because these days, what you're seeing is people aging and living a lot longer. Mostly because the exercise and your diet and things like that. So, you know, but eventually, we all have to leave. We're only here for a while. What's that? Well, boy, it's 50 day on the road, you know, yeah. All right, so I'll tell you what, let's take the final break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up for the birthdays. We have about 5 of them. Don't go anywhere.
Eden Heights Clinic is one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean. They offer a dynamic combination of life-changing treatments, including prolozone therapy, live blood analysis, halotherapy, limb bagging, nutritional programs, colon hydrotherapy, weight loss programs, oxygen baths, and more. Their professional doctors, Drs. Carlos Navarro, Bronwyn Navarro, and Brian Thompson provide consultation services in areas of diabetes detox programs, arthritis, sports injuries, heart disease, high blood pressure, persons suffering with knee, shoulder, and back pain. At Eden Heights Clinic, they understand that your health is your wealth. Get in touch with them to determine which service is the right choice for you. Visit them at any one of their 3 locations at 13 Montague Avenue, Twin City, at 41 Ramsaran Street, Shoguanas, or give them a call at 640-8985 or 613-7571, or send them a WhatsApp to 493-9196. Eden Heights Clinic is your right choice.
Welcome to Caribbean Tourist Villa, your home away from home in the heart of Port of Spain. With over 25 years of trusted hospitality, Caribbean Tourist Villa has been a reliable choice for both business professionals and vacationers. Our guest rooms are thoughtfully equipped with all the essentials for a relaxing and productive stay, and our tranquil pool area is perfect for relaxation after a busy day. We've created the ideal space for you to relax, recharge, and enjoy. Give us a call to book your stay today.
Let's get it started. I say, whoa yo, also come and take a jump and let we start it by the drum, let we start it by the drum. Party on the road, there's a party on the road. Line it up, bring the shots and line it up. Party on the road, there's a party on the road. Look at lights in the back, watch my canal in the front. Party on the road, there's a party on the roadway. Come let we party on the roadway. Take a jump and let we start it by the drum, let we start it by the drum. Party on the road, there's a party on the road. Line it up, bring the shots and line it up. Party on the road, there's a party on the road. Look at lights in the back, watch my canal in the front. Party on the road, there's a party on the roadway. Come let me party on the road. So let me see your hands up in the air, wave them up in the band. People from everywhere, welcome up to the
Master Ganesh Bhargav offers powerful guidance for all kinds of life problems, doubts, confusion, protection needs, and clarity. His astrology practice comes from a powerful ancestral tribal lineage with over 500 years of astrological and spiritual practice. Bhargav Ji does not dominate or pressure clients. Instead, he focuses on fixing problems with care and balance. His reunion love spells and death reversal spells are designed to restore harmony and provide lifetime protection. This is not individual effort alone, but collective spiritual power working for you. Many clients notice strong positive changes within a few sessions. Call +1 868 347 2350.
If you're planning an event, make us your first option. At Reality of a Dream, we can make your event memorable. We can assist in planning your corporate functions, moderate gatherings, family occasions, christenings, and more. We also cater for weddings and other special occasions. Our newly renovated venue includes a majestic entryway, which takes you along a path to a fantastic indoor facility which can accommodate up to 80 dining guests. A recently completed, fully air-conditioned, beautifully designed wing, which maintains the theme and flow of Reality of a Dream, adds 30 extra seats for dining guests. In total, we can now seat a total of 110 dining guests. Come see for yourself the splendor that awaits you. Walk along the path and make your way to the breathtaking, well-maintained swimming pool and gazebo, and also the entire grounds of Reality of a Dream. We've also updated the Dream Suite, which comes with all modern conveniences, where guests can enjoy the feeling of an exquisite retreat overlooking the entire area. Reality of a Dream caters to professional events. We provide secured parking for guests, so call us at 332-6880 and ask for Harriet, located at number 15 Moses Avenue, San Juan. Reality of a Dream, making dreams come true every day.
Greetings to you all in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior, the sweet Rose of Sharon and the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. I am Ezekiel Johnson Fort, and I am pleasured to inform you of the newest branch of the Christian Union Church, Trinidad and Grenada District, San Juan Revival Ministries. If you are desiring prayer, healing, or that closer connection to the Heavenly Father, then the place to be is at San Juan Revival Ministries. And allow me to ask you one question. Are you living a life without Jesus Christ? Do you desire freedom from spiritual bondage? Then the only solution to your problem is Him. In the book of Matthew, chapter 11 and verses 28, it says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." And this is mostly speaking to those of you who are Christians and you might not have a place to fellowship. Come. Fellowship with us at the Christian Union Church, San Juan Revival Ministries. Come, be edified and equipped by the Word of God preached by the man of God, Senior Reverend Bishop Dave Donation. You will be empowered by the move of the Holy Spirit of the living God. Come and be comforted. If you desire to be an environment that shows compassion and care for your spiritual needs, growth, and development, then fellowship with us at number 1 Bagatelle Corner, Saddle Road, every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. I look forward to seeing you there, and God bless you all, and may the peace of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, be with you now and always. God bless you all.
All right, people, so we're back, and we got to wrap things up this morning. We got some birthdays, so we are ready for that. So let's go. Happy 10th birthday to an amazing little brother, Ethan. Double digits already. Where has the time gone? Watching you grow into such a smart, kind, funny, and wonderful young boy has been one of the greatest joys. I hope your special day is filled with lots of laughter, fun, love, delicious cake, and all the presents you wish for. Always remember to keep believing in yourself, dreaming big, and never stop being the incredible person you are. We are all so proud of you and love you more than words can say. Have the happiest 10th birthday ever. Ethan, may this year bring you endless adventures, happiness, good health, and unforgettable memories. Coming from your mom, your granny, your dad, and your loving sister. All right? Nice, man. Ethan, big up yourself. Also, happy 49th wedding anniversary to Billy and Danny. Thank you for 49 wonderful years of love, strength, and inspiration. Wishing you God's richest blessings and many more happy years together from your children, Rachel, Suzanne, Brian, Justin, and Darren. Billy and Danny, man. Also, birthday greetings going out to Ryan Sipasad. We are big fans of your show. We have 3 reasons to celebrate. 1, my husband Ryan Sipasad celebrates his birthday today. Our 7th anniversary was on Tuesday. And our daughter Zaya turns 17 months also today. And she absolutely loves the intro song and goes running to the TV every time it's on. What is it with that intro? What is going on with that intro song? From ever since, you know. When I ain't lying, I could pick them, I just pick them good, you know. Yeah. All right, nice, man. So, happy birthdays and anniversary to you guys, and do enjoy your day. Also, we would like to wish Tariq a happy birthday, coming from his parents, Josanne and Callista, sister Tia and Tishona, brother Terrell, grandparents Alvin and Deborah, and his aunt Megan, also from twin babies, Aidan and Aria. And hey, everybody says they love you, man. So happy birthday going out to Tariq. And finally, morning, Stefan. I'm sending greetings, birthday greetings to Kimani, coming from his mom, sister, grandma, dad, and the rest of the family. May he live to see many more and to continue to shine bright. He's officially a teenager today. All right, man. 13. Nice. All right. You have a couple years still, but enjoy 13. Okay? All right, man. That's it. So we wrap things up for today. Tomorrow, it's breakfast before Barbados with Chef Shiraz. And, of course, we'll see what's popping in the news tomorrow as well. We didn't have to take any calls this morning, so we might have some fun tomorrow. Who knows? We'll figure that out during the course of the day. But until tomorrow, have a great day, people. We out. Bye-bye.